I gotta say, it's been a while since I've been in front of the camera, actually. With all my videos recently being uploaded, they've been behind the computer screen, really. And I feel like a lot of you who subscribed to my channel recently don't exactly know what I look like, unless you've caught my live streams, that is. But anyways, I'm not here to talk about my beautiful face. I'm here to talk about Venom Let There Be Carnage. I finally saw it tonight, earlier today, with my father. And I really wanted to watch this movie. I was actually kind of excited for it. I really was curious only because the selling point in this movie was Carnage. And Carnage is actually one of those psychopathic characters that I'm a huge fan of from the comics. I'm not a fan of psychopathic killers, guys. Calm down. But anyways, aside from that, I had a great time seeing the movie with my dad and all. And I just want to basically now talk about it and how I felt about this movie. And it's not exactly how you think. Like, although I did have a great time, and that being said, I only had a great time with this movie because the star of the movie is Tom Hardy, who plays Eddie Brock and Venom. He's both characters. So the movie stars Tom Hardy and Woody Harrelson as Venom and Carnage, obviously, respectively, and is directed by Andy Circus. You know, that guy that does the mocap for a lot of the movies like Lord of the Rings and Planet of the Apes and whatnot. I left this movie like feeling a bit hollow, and to elaborate a little bit more on that, and I will not get into details or spoilers, so just letting you know, if you're watching this video right now, there are no spoilers, but that's going to be also in the title just in case you came into this video. What I meant by feeling hollow is that I feel like there's a missing element, and by element I mean character, and you obviously know what that character is that's missing, right? This said character that I'm talking about, let's just say Spider-Man, is the basis, the foundation, the core of who Venom becomes in the comics. Who Eddie, like this character, Spider-Man, affects Eddie Brock, Venom in the comic books. And since the first movie, and since like the announcement that Sony was doing the first movie, me and you can even ask my cousin and my cousin Chris, who's Goshen's Games on YouTube, we thought that it was a pretty bad idea. And when the movie came out, we were like, "Oh yeah, I mean, the movie's just fine, I guess. I mean, in the context of the story, it's just fine, and that's it. Like, it's not great. It's not completely awful. It's like trending on the line of mediocrity, honestly. So when I saw Venom versus Carnage, I kind of had sort of high expectations. As it turns out, I love the design of Carnage, okay? Carnage looks badass. He looks very menacing and threatening. However, Woody Harrelson's interpretation, and believe me, he's a phenomenal actor, and I think he's really funny in a lot of movies too. Woody Harrelson's interpretation in this movie as Cletus Cassidy, who's the psychopathic serial killer from the comics, is kind of off, in my opinion. And now, like, what I'm saying may make you feel a little bit indifferent. Maybe you went to go see this movie and you thought this movie was awesome and it was just everything you needed. But I felt like this movie kind of fell flat in its execution and how it treated these characters, like, Eddie and Venom and Cletus Cassidy and other supporting characters like Shriek, for instance, who's also in this movie. I just feel like it's a hollow, mediocre, censored mess. That's right, this movie is PG-13. I wish we were still in the area where, like, you can get away with a lot of things in a PG-13 film where, like, some material may be inappropriate for children under 13. If you guys are old enough as I am, you know what I'm talking about. Back in the day, they would release PG-13 movies that were really treading to be rated R because of some of the things that they got away with, like brutal, over-the-top violence, because when movies do that, like especially PG-13 movies, it starts to get to the point where, like, okay, maybe this movie should be rated R. But no, not this movie. This movie's violence is very censored. And, a lot of things I wish we could see in this movie is that over-the-top violence. That being said, it doesn't necessarily make the movie better, but it would actually kind of distract us from how hollow this movie kind of appears to be. A lot of the characters that you see in this movie, you don't really actually care about them. That's the way I actually felt. I personally didn't really care about Anne Wayne. I didn't care about Woody Harrelson's character as Cletus Cassidy. And I don't feel like Cletus Cassidy was executed properly. We didn't actually get to see a lot of the serial killing behavior of Cletus Cassidy. We didn't. And whenever he did kill somebody, he would only kill... I mean, you've seen it from the trailers and you've seen a clip of it when he breaks out of prison. That is one of them. And the other scene is where he just offs a guy at a convenience store. Like, that's what I can actually remember as of now. So you didn't see him act all maniacal as much, only with the exception of when he became Carnage with the symbiote. And that's about it. This movie is also only an hour and a half, which I believe this movie needed more time to develop these characters for us to, I guess, feel for them and care about them in a certain way. But I just feel like the execution was just not there, and it was just poor. Like, it was not good. The only saving grace of this movie is Tom Hardy's performance as Eddie Brock Venom. I mean, Eddie Brock is acting with himself. He plays Eddie Brock and he plays Venom. And some of the humor kind of lands and some of it just falls flat. And I had a couple chuckles. I didn't have big laughs or anything like that. Just a few chuckles and that's it. This movie is just okay. And it basically delivers what the first one did. And also, as far as like a certain character's fate in this movie, I wish it didn't happen. I wish this said character didn't go, because I was expecting big things, you know, with like Sony having the anticipation of like bringing, let's say, Spider-Man into the mix of these movies. And I was expecting like kind of like big things from this, you know. I was hoping like these characters would be able to move on into future sequels. But no, it was just like done. And I'm sorry if I'm being vague, but again, no spoilers. And if you guys know what I'm talking about, let me know that you know what I'm talking about without posting spoilers in the comments, that is. But aside from that, yeah, I mean, honestly, you can miss this movie or you can see it, but I guarantee you're not going to remember much of it in T-minus 30 minutes. Like, honestly, I'm a little saddened. I felt like my heart was a little crushed because I actually was a little excited for this movie. I mean, this was the very first time we got an interpretation of the Carnage character from the comics in the big screen, like on the big screen itself. But overall, you know, just sad to say that it wasn't good. And yeah, I mean, it's just fine. And I'm not going to watch it again, by the way. So I'm pretty sure Sony's really excited for a Venom 3, whatever that movie may be. And yeah, go see Venom Let There Be Carnage if you feel like it. And if you don't feel like it, I would totally understand. Honestly, in my opinion, you don't have to see it. On a rating scale of A to F, I give this movie a D+. Also, stay after that post-credit scene. It's probably the best thing out of this movie. Anyways, that's my review of Venom Let There Be Carnage. What are your thoughts? Let me know. Have you seen the movie already? Comment down below with your thoughts. And what did you think of the film? Like, I'm curious. I know that maybe some of you thought it was okay. Maybe a couple of you actually thought that this movie sucked and it was not good. It was just awful. I even posted an update in my community section earlier today that I was going to go see the movie. And I know one of you didn't like it as much. You just thought it was garbage. But aside from that, guys, thank you all so much for watching. This is a late review, and I'm very sorry I didn't post a video earlier this afternoon, like around 12 like I usually do. I just didn't have anything, and I kind of figured, you know what, I'll use this day as an opportunity to post my review of Venom Let There Be Carnage, and I wanted you guys to hear me out on this. So if you like this video, like it. If you dislike it, dislike it. I mean, I understand if maybe you don't agree with my opinion, but that's just my opinion, and that's it. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching once again. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click on bell notifications so you don't miss anything. As always, I will see you all in the next comic panel.